In this video, I'm going to talk about something very important. And this video is going to be a video that is going to remind you, and I can even say, perhaps open your mind and also open your remembering mind or your remembrance. I don't know how to put it, okay? That means I'm reminding you because some of you forget on how we got here when it comes to foreigners, okay? I will remind you. But now the problem is I don't have the videos that is playing. So I'm going to respond and I'm going to speak based on these videos, that is going to actually play. I'm going to skip the video about Mr. Maimane. I'm very sorry, but Mr. Maimane, whatever I said, according to me, I will use isiZulu bekumpeto for mina. Okay? For mina, at that point, Mr. Maimane, I don't know what you are talking about. Your problem, the problem of me, Mr. Maimane, is that he talks, I don't know whether to say he talks too much, and he talks, I think, when he's not even supposed to talk sometimes. And because, I don't know, maybe he likes the this thing of speaking microphone, I don't know. But I respect him because, okay, he's been in politics for some time. And politicians, in most cases, especially those who've been in politics, one thing that I don't like about them, they think that because they've been in politics for some time, they think they know everything more than any person. They forget that politics is in public. That will mean every person can see what is going on, even if you are not in politics. You can see what is going on with politics. And it's not Mr. Maimane and those who are in politics who've got a right of speaking about politics. Even if we are not in politics, we can speak about it because it is in the public. Every story is shared in the public. So we've got to say something. And I'm saying this because you remember when Mr. Maimane actually made a video where I reacted to that video, where it was, I think it was when Mr. Shibambo left the EFF and everything like that, right? He actually mentioned that he said a statement that I didn't like. He said that, yeah, now because of this thing it's happening with Mr. Shivambo leaving the EFF and blah blah blah, and people are busy talking as if like now they know what is politics or they know about politics. People they turn themselves into experts in politics. That statement made me to not disrespect, but not to take him serious anymore. Because you don't say, it doesn't matter. Guys, politics, that is why even there are people who are not learned. People who don't have degrees, people who don't have diplomas, people who don't have the qualifications. Because there's no qualification in being a politician. That means it's a public thing. It is done by any person. All right? That's why even everyone goes to this party, goes to that party, come back to this party, because that's how it is. It's a public thing. Everyone does whatever they want in those things. Okay? Now, I'm saying this because I'm not going to respond to Mr. Maimane, and I'm not saying I'm going to respond as if like I have to respond, or I'm not going to make a video reacting to Mr. Maimane, because whatever he said, I can tell you, in my mind, I was like, I'm not going to say anything about this. He knows. Mr. Maimane knows. The reason why he was speaking the way he was speaking, it is because he's in government. Obviously, he's in government, okay? He's in the GNU. When he speaks, he has to speak like that because, of course, he's there. And I know, so some of the people, they will say, even if they are in the GNU, they can still speak, outside the they have got rights to speak the way they want. Let me tell you something. Every time you speak on any topic, if you are in the GNU or you are in government, okay? Let me tell you something. The first thing that's going to come in your mind, I don't care who you are, as long as you are in that thing of GNU, the first thing that will come before you make a point, to make a view on any topic, you will think about the GNU. You will think about the people that you are with in the GNU. You will be very careful on what you say, okay? And please don't come here and be like, yeah, you know, no, you are not right because he can speak, you know, whatever. All I'm saying is I don't agree with him on what he says. Okay? There is no one who said he or she agrees with Dudula taking also South Africans out of clinics and everything and whatever. But I can tell you guys, I want you to remember these words, right? One day, your kids, they will be accessing, if this thing could go, because unfortunately, Dudula now, I think they were speaking with Penwell there, and they were saying they want to contest the elections. Now, the reason why they want to do that is because they don't think that they can be able to force the change if they are not in government. Unfortunately, if they go there, for me it's shy. For me, I think it's dumb. Okay, but I don't know, guys. But I can tell you that, and unfortunately, if they go, I don't know how to put this, but if they go to politics, for me, I know that that is the end of it. Okay. Now, one thing that people don't understand, they're thinking about this thing of foreign nationals who are not, I can say, documented, okay, who are here illegally, all right? But people don't understand, this is not about them. This is not about them as like old people with kids, with family. It's not about them. It's not about South Africa now. It's about the future. Ladies and gents, if you didn't know, if this thing is left alone and it goes on like it is going on, in the next 5 to 10 years, ladies and gentlemen, you will not be able to get any help. Okay? You will get it, but you will get it after 3 days. On the other side, you are sick and you want some quick thing there. They tell you, no, you have to queue. You can come on Wednesday. Some of you they will be turning you back because of the queue, because of the people that are lining up to get help in the hospital, all right? In the home affairs, people will be lining up, all right? And then you will have a problem. And guess what? You as an old person who is busy shouting and talking, you will be gone. You will be gone. You will be resting, all right? Whether you will still be alive, but you will be sitting somewhere, not even caring. You are just waiting to leave the earth and stuff like that. And your kids, they will be asking themselves, where were our fathers? Where were our fathers? Why are we in this thing? And I can tell you, in the future, if you let this thing go right now, in the future, people, they will be fighting for the same services that people could have received freely and could have received easily if this thing was taken, was actually controlled. It's not about you now. You are old, my guy. Okay, I'm talking to those who are busy defending people here while we are trying to make. All we are saying, people, let people who don't have documents, I repeat, let them go, and when they go, let them come back following the law, following the right procedures, not jumping fences. Okay, let them come back, but they come back in a right way. That's what Malema said when he was interviewed in the SAPC there. I think he was interviewed by Mr. Manyatel. He says, no, let those who are not documented, let them go out, all right? Let them leave, then when they want to come back, they can follow the procedure. Let me tell you something if you don't know. Because you people, you don't look at in the future. You don't look at the 10 years after now. You don't look at 20 years after now. What is going to happen if you don't know, right? The services of South Africa, it's going to be difficult for you to access them because of the queues. One, right? Whether it's clinic, whether it's home affairs, whether it's whatever, you will not be able to access it very quickly. And some of the people, they will be turned back. Maybe they will say to them, come back after 2 days, 3 days. Maybe the queue will be okay. Maybe the queue will be okay. And guess what is going to happen? When the systems or when the clinics, the home affairs, everything, whatever, has collapsed, it's gone down, there's no assistance anymore because it has collapsed, guess what is going to happen? The people that were here from outside illegally, they will go back home. Maybe in their countries they would be fixing things, because if they come out of their countries and they flock in South Africa, In their countries, it is easy in their countries for them to juggle around their systems because people are running to South Africa. And when they run to South Africa is suffering. And then they leave their country because the population is going down. And then the services are easy now in their country because they have left, they came here. They are making services difficult here, right? You hearing what I'm saying? All I'm saying is people need to think out of the box. Don't think about the now, all right? And you guys, especially politicians, they always talk about law, this, law, that, law, this, law, that, law, this, law, this, law, that, law, that. But when it comes to this thing, they don't think about the law. All we are saying is let them follow the law. And the chances are, those who are not following the law, you will find out that they are more than those who are not following the law. Those who are not following the law are more than those who are following the law. Only those who have followed the law, who've got documents that are correct in South Africa, are fewer than those who are not, who don't have. Let me explain to you why, where this thing actually started. I want to tell you, stay tuned. I want us to listen to what these guys are saying. And I'm taking this part of the video because Mr. Maimane, I don't have time to speak about Mr. Maimane because I was very disappointed with him. Guys, I have learned in life that if there is a topic that is happening and you don't know what to say and you don't have a view on it, or even if you have a view, you can see that your view is shaky. I don't say anything. I keep quiet until I get the full picture. Okay? But anyway, it's fine. Let me not talk too much because you guys sometimes will make us to be fuming and you think we are angry. We are not angry, but it's so surprising that you have somebody like Maimane speaking the way he speaks. Okay? Now, it's his opinion, I understand. But I didn't like what he said. I think he was, I don't know guys, he was speaking, I don't know from where. He was speaking, I don't know from which position. I don't understand why did he say all those things. And then he comes back and then he says, not comes back, he says in the same thing. He says, yeah, the next thing after they are done with the foreigners, they will come for Xhosas for Zulu. What are you talking about? Where did you get that? Where have you seen that? No, they will come for Zulus, for Ndebeles, for Xhosas. What are you talking about? Why do what? My man, what is wrong with you, my guy? Anyway, let me not talk too much.
Bottom line is laziness. People are lazy. People don't want to work.
Before we listen to Mr. Mabaso, right? The problem is people, it's laziness, right? They don't want to work, right? Let me tell you where does this thing come from. If you don't understand, stay tuned because I'm going to speak and I'm going to remind you. So some of you forget. And unfortunately, even the EFF, the EFF, I think they have forgotten where does this thing come from. And I am under the impression, and I think I do remember somewhere in my mind that Mr. Mariama spoke about this thing, but I think he forgot that he spoke about it. I don't know whether he spoke about it or not, but I have an impression that he did mention it. Because I think it was the EFF that were more actually to this thing. They were pushing it because you remember that the EFF, the full name of the EFF is Economic Freedom Fighters. Anything that has to do with economy, they have to be there. They have to be seen to be doing something because their party is about economy. All right? That means they will follow anything that has to do with economy because of the name. Okay, one day we will talk about names. Anyway, now this guy says the problem is laziness. People, they don't want to work. Let me explain to you, okay? There's no one who is lazy here, right? There's no one who is lazy because we all know that you cannot have anything that you want in your life if you are lazy. Obviously, if you want a car, if you want a house, if you want to eat, if you want to wear clothes, if you want to buy clothes, if you want to do that, if you even want to have kids, you must have money. So for you to actually be able to provide for whatever that you want to provide for, you need to have money. And for you to have money, you need to work. So you can't tell us that people, they don't want to work. What are you talking about? Now, I want to speak about this, right? There is you remember there was a time when I think it was unions. You remember unions, and also I think the EFF was also there. It would actually come also and say things about it, okay? Now, there was a time where unions, and I think not most, but more than any union that I've thought about or that I can think about, the union that was actually speaking more on this, it was the union where there is that guy. Who is that guy? Oh, I forgot the guy. The guy with who usually speaks at that thing, man. Sure, I forgot the guy. I will look for him. I will put him on the screen. That guy, I think, is also the one that actually speaks more when it comes to the minimum wage. And also, Mr. Vavi, I think when he was still in that union thing, that union that left, and all of that, he used to speak about the minimum wage. And also I think other unions, they do speak about the minimum wage. That is where the problem started. The minimum wage. South Africans in South Africa, and people are telling us that South Africans are lazy. No. South Africans, they know, let me tell you something, they know that according to the law, right? According to the law, there is a minimum wage that South Africans or a worker must get when they work. Right? That is the first thing. That is the law. According to South African law. That is what is happening. Now, the people or citizens of South Africa, because they know that law, obviously they will not allow anyone or any person to exploit them, while there is a law that tells them to pay them this much. Okay? It started there. And then people, and then because there were people who were complaining that we are working, but we are not getting what we are supposed to be getting. Okay? And then it went on. After it went on, and then there was a time, I believe, I don't know if I'm right, but I believe that there was a time where the EFF, they were fighting that companies in South Africa, they make a lot of money, billions, trillions, all right? But they don't give increases to people. Even other unions, they were speaking on it. They were saying, you are making a lot of money in South Africa, and guess what? The same people that are working for you are the ones who are generating that money. But you don't want to increase their salaries, okay? You don't want to increase their salary. There was that fight in South Africa. People, they were marching, toying, and everything. They wanted increases on their salaries, and those who are not paid according to the minimum, to the wage that they should be getting, they were marching, toying outside. Now, what you would expect as a company is to maybe try and meet people halfway and everything like that. No, they didn't do that. Some of them, they did, but they stopped there. They didn't do that. Guess what they did? Because we've got people who are coming to South Africa. Listen to this, guys. This is very important. There are people who are coming to South Africa, right? Illegally so. They jump whatever fence and they just get into South Africa. They go wherever, right? And then they get to places where they know that they will not be discovered. And then they go and look for work where South Africans should be working, right? And when they go there, and then they tell them, no, if the minimum wage, no, it's not them, but if the minimum wage, for example, it's 3,000, right? According to the laws of South Africa, a person, I'm making an example, I'm not saying that's the minimum wage. A person who works in South Africa, the minimum wage that person should be paid, for example, let's just say it's 3,000. A foreign national who is not legal comes to South Africa. When they get to South Africa, guess what happens? That guy who is angry about South Africans who are complaining about salaries, he goes and hire that guy. And after hiring that guy, he's going to give that guy 1.5. He tells him that, listen, I will give you 1.5 if you can come and work for me. Or if that person is asking for a job, yeah, you can come and work for me. Okay, how much are you going to pay me? 1.5. No, it's okay. That is a foreigner, right, who is not legal. It's okay because why? He's desperate. He wants something to get. He wants to get something because remember, he is not legal. He can take anything and everything. Even if it was 500, he was going to take it. Because he will get that job and go to get another one and get another one. Get 3, maybe 500, 1.5. The person works the whole day going around and working because people, listen guys, you like it or you don't like it. One thing that you must know, everything that happens, there is a history on it, okay? This thing, it started there. I remember there was a time, I don't know whether it's EFF or whatever, and I'm thinking about EFF because they were shouting on it, okay, about this thing of minimum wage, about this thing of people not paid, you know, according to what they're supposed to be getting, and also the salaries not increasing and everything. There was a time somebody was complaining about it, complaining that why are you guys hiring people from outside and you are paying them lower than what you are supposed to be paying, and those jobs are supposed to be for South African that you should be paying according to the law of South Africa, which is the minimum wage. And some of you companies, you are making more than what you are paying them. Even you are making more than, you can pay them even more than what you are giving them now, but you don't want to do that. And then they resonated, or they ended up going to these guys who are coming to South Africa illegally. And because they are desperate, they want to they just take everything and anything because they want to eat, right? They want to wear, right? So they can take even 300, even 500, even whatever. Because they became the replacement of South Africans. And I'm going to say they became the replacements of South Africa because they take everything. And then they come and tell people of South Africa, you are lazy, you are lazy. No, they are not lazy. They wanted to work, but they didn't want to work for peanuts, right? They didn't want to work for salaries that are for, I don't know, that are for slaves, that are for people that's the problem. That's what you are forgetting, guys, in South Africa. You forget quickly, you South Africans. This thing, it has an history. It's not starting now. And unfortunately, in 2024, 25, 20, until whatever, it's out of hands right now. All the businesses outside there, restaurants, everything, it's full of people from outside. If you can go and check how much they get paid, you will be surprised. I'm not saying I didn't check, but I can tell you, some of them, even if though they may get maybe more than what you might think right now, but when they started when they were maybe giving them some small money. Now it's out of hand. People are following the restaurants and everything. South Africans are not working, and you expect South Africans to smile. Some of us who don't forget, I remember vividly where this thing started. All right? And I'm definitely sure there were people who said, you see this thing, it's gonna go out of hand. This thing that is happening of people here doing whatever. Because, and South Africans, they were angry. I remember vividly, there was a video, I think there was somebody who said that these people are replacing South Africans just because South Africans are fighting for their rights. They are fighting for their rights. They are fighting for what is due for them. What you don't understand, ladies and gentlemen, in as much as these companies have been started by those people who are running these companies, people who generate money for them, people who do the work on the ground, are people that are supposed to be actually getting what is due to them. You guys, it's a pity, man. Anyway, let me not talk too much.
The bottom line is laziness. People are lazy. The people do not want to work. This is what they say about South Africans. South Africans are lazy. They don't want to work. These are the people that do not even have the papers to be here. South Africans are lazy. They are lazy to work. And where do these people actually get this audacity to be in front of cameras and insult the South Africans in their own country? If these people were such hard workers, why didn't they work so hard to make sure that their own countries prosper? They are telling South Africans that South Africans are lazy. They even have the audacity to be in camera to expose their faces while they are insulting South Africans. And these are the people that Mmusi Maimane is defending. These are the people that Mmusi Maimane thinks should be integrated into our society.
And the bottom line is laziness. People are lazy. People don't want to work. Simple as that. As a foreigner, when I come to this country and I read what is going on here, and I see this is free to get a certificate and get a job. I got a skills already. I come to this country. What must I do? I have to go and get a certificate and get a job. When you get a job, so you are a foreigner. You don't have ID. They chase me out.
When you grow, what are you going to do to support yourself? You understand? We haven't taken anybody's job. I'm telling you. If you let's leave this place for them, 1,000 years, nobody can work. Nobody can work.
And I understand.
Before he speaks again, listen, ladies and gentlemen, for me, I don't even want to lie. I'm speaking from my truth, okay? I don't care how. I'm speaking from my truth. This is my truth, okay? This is what I see as a truth. If you think that you are not lazy like South Africans, if you think that you can create something in South Africa, I guess you are saying you are creative because you are saying you are not taking South Africans' jobs and everything. You are creative, right? Of course, we will agree that you are creative according to what you are saying. All right? And then the other person says, yeah, I've got a skill. And then when I see a poster there, they say they want a skill, they need a certificate, whatever, I go and get the certificate. And then I start working. And then people, when I don't have an ID, then they say to me, yeah, you cannot work here, blah, 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 blah. Number one, you are skilled. Number two, you, my guy, you say, yeah, you are not taking people's job. I'm creating my job, whatever, whatever. Why don't you go? And why didn't you do it at home? Why didn't you be creative at home? Why didn't you, the other guy, why didn't you go and check some poster there? They look for the skills and then you go and get a certificate and see if you will be able to get. I'm not even 100% sure the certificate that you are talking about, you got it in the right way. I'm not saying you didn't, but I'm asking, I'm questioning it. Because if you don't have an ID, it means already you are illegal, already you are out of law, already you are doing something wrong. The question will be, that certificate you are talking about, how did you get it? Because in the first place, you are not legal. In the first place, you are not in the law. Okay? Please, guys, let's speak truths here. We cannot be feeling emotion here, nice, and brushing feelings. You remember what Mr. Malema said when they asked him a question about why you black parties, why don't you come together, you know, and whatever. Mr. Malema said, yeah, listen, this thing of every time when it's supposed to be me meeting with other black parties, then it's supposed to be uniting. Mr. Malema was tired of brushing feelings, nursing feelings, you know. People, we agree, and then after agreeing, that is according to, actually, just paraphrasing, we agree on something that we will work together, and then the next thing you are taking our percent. All right? This thing of nursing feelings, because we want to be one. Then we nurse each other's feelings. We don't tell each other's truth. I am saying to them, since you think you are so good, why didn't you do it at home? That's what I'm asking. All right? That's what I'm asking. Why didn't you do it at home? The reason why you came here is because it's easy here. You know that in your home you won't be doing it at ease. Because they will ask you, even you, they will ask you, if you've got this, you've got this. But because you were told that in South Africa it's easy, you ran here. I don't care if you took anybody's job. I don't care if you didn't take anybody's job. But why didn't you use that thing that you are telling us here? You are breaking a back. Why didn't you use it at all? I'm just asking. I'm not fighting. I'm just asking. Because you guys, when we are talking nice and we are sweetie, nice, brushing feelings, you take advantage. You are speaking the way you are speaking.
Understand why some of these illegal foreigners, they actually have the audacity to insult us, because South Africans have already been insulted, even by the likes of Julius Malema. Now they are spewing the talking points of Julius Malema to say that all of these jobs that South Africans are complaining about, these restaurant jobs, these jobs in the garages, even if these people can leave, South Africans would not occupy these jobs. And it is frustrating because you know, guys, as a South African, you know the desperation that is facing the people of this country. And for them to take the talking points from South African politicians and throwing it into the faces of the people that are paying for everything that they enjoy in this country. It is an insult. It is an insult. It is an insult. Guys, I think it was last week. I'm sorry, man, there's something wrong with my camera. I think it was last week where, okay, I think it was last week, I saw a post. I actually saw a post last week on social media, and this post, I think this thing was happening in Kwakwa here in the Free State. And apparently, you know that shop, Rhodes has told people to come and apply. And the lines were massive, guys. Thousands and thousands of people went there to apply for like maybe 10 or 15 jobs. And thousands of people were queuing there to drop their CVs. And that alone should tell you about the desperation that is facing the people of this country. The desperation, the police were recruiting a couple of weeks ago. And I think they were talking about 5,000 people. And they received over 200,000 applications. 5,000 job openings. 200,000.
I'm sorry, guys.
Over 200,000 applications. It tells you about how desperate South Africans are. How bad the situation is on the ground. But then you have these guys that are telling you that even if these illegal immigrants leave these jobs, there is no way that South Africans can actually occupy those positions. And the South African politicians have actually made it okay for these people to insult us as South Africans. They have made it okay. If you like,
listen, all I'm saying is, guys, okay, let me just make this point, because after he passes this point, I don't know where they are going. All I'm saying is, this whole thing that they are talking about, these guys here, these guys, these foreign guys, all these things that they are talking about, it started when South Africans started to stand for their rights in the workplaces. That's where it started. All right? That is where it started. You, my guy, chances are you were hired because they didn't want to hire a South African who fought for his rights to get the right salary, the right wage. Okay? That is why maybe you are there. You are a substitute. That's why some of South Africans, they were fighting against that. You are replacing us. In other words, you are being used against us. That's what people, they were saying. That's what actually was happening, in fact. Because they saw a way out. Instead of paying these South Africans a minimum wage, instead of paying them increase, we are just going to but we are just going to go to these guys who are going to take anything. And then because you take anything, and then they look at you as a person who is working hard. They are working hard. South Africans are lazy. There's no lazy South African here. Okay? There's no lazy South African. I said it in the beginning. There is no one who can tell me right now that they will not work if they were given work from South Africa. A South African who will say, I will not work if work was to, like if I was given work now. Because they know, everybody knows. If you don't know that, I don't know. Everyone knows that you can't eat, you can't wear, you can't buy a car, you can't buy a house, you can't whatever without money, without working. But people of South Africa at that time, they were fighting for their rights. And you guys became substitutes if you didn't know. That is why South Africans fought. That is why now Mr. Maimane was busy complaining about Dudula. Alright? Dudula is not, maybe they do other things about taking people out of clinics and blah, 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 and all of that, but they're doing it because the government is not doing it. That's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to politics, Mandela said it. If this government that is coming in treats you like the government that was in the past, you must also take them out. So people of South Africa, unfortunately, in South Africa, we call it a democratic South Africa, right? That means people, if South Africans see that the government is not doing something, they will do something. And you cannot blame them because they've got a right to do that as long as they are doing it in the conferences of the law. I don't think those ladies in the Dudula organization, they just go to places without the law. They know and understand the law. That is why I'm very worried now when they talk about them going to parliament, going to contest elections and everything. I don't know what is going to happen, right? Do you think, guys, these people are crazy? The other lady here, the March, the other lady got fired. He got cancelled there at the radio station. Now you telling me that he risked his job because she's passionate about this thing. They see what is going on. Everybody sees. It's just that some people, they choose to ignore. And there are people who come with the argument of saying, yeah, the foreigners, they are making economy to go better. They are making economy to be better, If foreigners, they can leave, the economy will be bad. The economy, what are you talking about? Is that your justification? Is that what you can do? Is that the best you can do? Telling us about they are contributing in the economy. They've got some taverns, they've got some what do they call these things that people go in and enjoy? Yeah, they've been owned by them, they are owned by them, whatever, and all of that, the economy, that is why the economy, whatever, the economy. You guys, one day, these videos that we are making, shouting here, you will be playing them, and you will be reminding your friends. You remember this video, remember this guy. He said it. In 10 years after this thing is going to happen and it's happening. And you will be worried also.
Leave this place for them. 1,000 years. Nobody can work. If you don't have a skill, you can't work.
They employ people that have got ID, but they can't work. You understand? They employ people that have got ID book, but they can never do nothing in that company.
Yeah. Right in the city center, you keep unemployed people. So what do you expect them to do? Because they need to eat, they need to sleep, they need to survive, they need better life. So they have to come and sit on those who are working.
Without apprenticeships, they say the South African youth will never develop the necessary skills to open their own shops and will always be dependent on others.
But since we came here, we discovered that.
Will you just let these people, I wish they just shut them up, okay? Because even what they are saying, what are they talking about? Let me tell you, if you don't know, okay? Some of us, we live in rural areas. Some of us in our rural area where we stay, for example, places like Mpumalanga, Ndebele, Lapa, maybe Bomama Melody, whatever, where it's actually sort of like, it's not rural, but okay, we had spaza shops, supermarkets. Listen, spaza shops, supermarkets, a lot of them run by black people, not by black people, run by South Africans in South Africa. We were proud. When we go to those we bought things there. When we went to those supermarkets, when we went to those tuck shops, we were proud that our South Africans are running these businesses. When we went and bought there, we bought with confidence. We didn't. Some of you guys have got a problem. Have you seen these shops? Have you went and checked these shops? Have you went? It is because you guys, you just go in and you apply. You go in with your eyes closed. Have you checked? Have you checked that there are stocks? In our supermarkets, when we used to have our supermarkets, people of South Africa running them. Very clean, very neat. Their stock will stay in a place where it is storeroom, very nice, packed nicely. And we will go there and buy it. A spaza shop will be a nice spaza shop. No problems. We used to have that and we were proud. And guess what happened? Of course, people started to see, I don't know how did this thing started. And then all our people were wiped out. All of them. They were wiped out one by one. And I can tell you, some of them, even if they didn't want to sell their shops, but because of the money that they were promised, we will give you this amount of money, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you won't reject a lot of money that maybe when you tried to sell to somebody somewhere, you would not agree with the price. And somebody says, I will give you more than. what you want to sell for this tuck shop. Obviously, we'll take it. And our people were wiped. We never had our tuck shop anymore. We never had our supermarkets anymore. And then what happened? They were occupied. And of course, you want us to smile. Eh? You want us to smile. It's nice. It's nice. It's painful when you see a tuck shop that was run. It's taken. And when you look at it, you find it's so dead, it's so messed up. And you are asking yourself, it's fine. It's okay. Some of us, we are old now. We will live. It's okay. You will deal with it. You don't want people to fight now, right? It's okay. It's fine. Those who are speaking politicians, they are okay. They are okay. Okay? Some of them, they've got parties. Like Mr. Maimane, he's got a party. It's called what? It's called Bossa. If he's got a child, which I believe he has, that child will inherit that thing and continues with becoming a politician or whatever, if he becomes whatever, but he will be okay. And guess what? You will be suffering. You will be getting a private whatever help, hospital there, and you will be suffering. One day.
Well, thank you for the ANC for destroying the FETs. Thank you guys for destroying the technicoms. Thank you so much. Because now, young people in this country, they don't even have the skills that these technicons were providing. They don't. They don't. It is the fault of the ANC. Again, it's the fault of the ANC.
Even encouraging the youth to go for skills. You understand? Everybody wants to be rich within overnight. It's not done that way. I'm pleading to the government to bring technical skills to its people. I'm telling you, and that will end this problem in this country.
You know the white people have been here for a long time during apartheid, and
so since they are talking about the skills, right? They are talking about skills, right? They are saying if they bring skills, whatever. So when they come here with skills. Is that what they are saying? When they come here, they come with skills. All of them, they come with skills. All of them, they come with skills. Even them, they see that the government is not doing enough. That's what we are trying to fight. But the problem is, while we are busy trying to fight, you guys come here. And when you come here, they employ you. And then the fight now, it becomes useless because you are working there. They no longer take us serious because you guys come and you become a substitute. And then after it, you'll tell us about skills. While people were busy, you must think out of the box. Don't think to respond. People, the problem with people, they listen to respond. They listen to respond. They don't listen to understand. Okay? The people of South Africa, if they do what they are doing, you think it's wrong. It's your business. Okay? The problem is you're looking at things because it affects you. Because they want you, maybe because you are not legal. You have to go open because you are responding emotionally. Okay? He is saying it right. The government must bring skills. That's what we are fighting for. But the problem is, you come here, you guys, all right, illegally so. Because you remember that the only thing that we are fighting against, it's illegality. People who just come and land here, and then whatever. Okay? And when you come here, then they make you a substitute. And then the fight that the South Africans are trying to fight, it's no longer valid. It doesn't have that thing because they are okay now. They don't even pay attention to South Africans. Because according to them, or according to you guys, people are lazy, right? But they are fighting for their rights. This is a democratic country. People, they can fight for their rights. That's why we've got courts. Some of them, they go to courts and fight for their rights. That's why the president, he just give you an example, the president of the country, right? When it was that scandal of the Pala thing, no policeman went there and arrested him and said, yeah, because we found money under your couch, you are arrested. No, there's a law. And if they have to go to take it and push it forward, they will have to go to court. They will have to prove. That's what it is. It's about the law. It's about legality. Foreigners, we are not hating you. We like you. We love you. But please do things right. You know? Now you want us to be blindfolded by saying, no, we love you. And then we have to close our minds and not think because you guys are doing. And I'm talking about everyone. Now I'm responding to this because it's a black people thing. Even if it's white, even if it's Asian, even if it's whatever. And you must also remember, guys, that the bottom of this thing, the most important bottom thing here, is some of these guys, not all of them, of course, some of these guys, they come here and do certain things besides what they came for to do. He speaks about, yeah, the people, they want quick money. Even them, when they come here, they know that there is quick money here. They go to drugs, they go to that, whatever. I don't want to say things, but whatever, it's quick money. Because you know that each and every country, or even in life itself in general, there is nothing that is like a quick money unless you win lotto. And even that lotto, you don't just win it immediately. It doesn't happen. You just bet once and then boom. No, it takes time. Okay? Gotta be patient. Right? So, it's very important you guys understand the frustrations here. It's not a frustration that comes now because people are fighting. No, it's a history thing. It has been there. People, they've been trying to fight for their rights. And you guys, you know, right?
They you know what they did to the blacks. So they've got fear in the white people. You bring your nose.
God.
He needs to let them just be quiet. I don't know who was interviewing. I was going to say, okay, we're done. I was going to leave. This is why people like Mr. Malima, you remember me, Mr. Malima, what he said? Mr. Malima was like, yeah, you know, I love Nigerians. I like Nigerian men because I know that when they talk to a white person, they stand up, they speak to him, they whatever, you know, because they are not afraid of them. But when you get this South African, you will find him, you know, like he's like saying, bas, what. Don't compare us with Nigerians. Don't compare us with Ghanaians. Don't compare us with Kenyans. Don't compare because we are South African. South African, you described South Africa as a place where it's harmony, it's nice, jolly. People who are nice, people who are accepting, people who are just welcoming everything. That's what you get, okay? That's what you get. When people become aggressive, you are starting to put Ubuntu. People, they must be Ubuntu. You must show Ubuntu. When a person is trying to be aggressive like you like these guys when they are aggressive against the white people, when they speak to them. You forget that South African, they were taught, all right? Even with elders, they were taught to respect, right? We all know that we were taught to respect, right? Unless a white person maybe is doing something, you know, against you, and then maybe starting with you and doing all these things, then yeah, you can respond in a way that Nigerians will respond. But you can't just always shout at people because you are trying to be nah, guys, come on. And when he said that, Mr. Malima was like, what are you talking about? Why are you comparing us with them? Why are you comparing us? Now you want us to be aggressive like them. When we approach people, like he said, like, yeah, when you see us, you know, approaching a white person, blah, blah, blah. Guys, me, I don't know about other people, okay? Me, I don't come to a white person and be like, yes, I don't. And I don't talk about like, you know, as if like, you know, my superior. No, I don't do that. You know, I don't do that. It's just like maybe I don't talk to white people a lot because, you know, I don't come across them a lot. You know, but I don't think I will shiver like that and be like, yo, say, nah, I won't. I will speak like he's a human being, like a person. Until you work out your mind and look at everyone like he's a person. Now you have to be aggressive to talk to other people because you want to prove that you are strong. You know, you are not going to allow them to get into your head. Any person who can try to get to my head, obviously I will deal with them. I won't be nice. Because it's the environment allows it. But I can't just be, you know. We've seen people out there who are black people from South Africa who were started. There were some white people who were trying to get their luck with them. They responded aggressively. They responded the way would the Nigerian respond. You know, I don't know why people like to compare us with Nigerians, guys. We are not the same. Even in structure, we are not the same. Aggression, not the same. When they speak, you know how they speak. We are not the same. And the response will not be the same because we're not the same. Like I told you, in South Africa, I don't know whether we were brainwashed or somehow. Ubuntu, you know, respect, blah, blah. That's what we were taught. That's how things are in South Africa. And when people are showing it, and then you look at them and you are like, yeah, they are being weak. They are being, what are you talking? Anyway, it's fine.
Even the foreigners are playing the apartheid card on us. Even the foreigners are playing the apartheid card on us. They say, no, don't say anything about us. Don't say anything about us. Just focus on white people and what white people have done to this country. Focus on that. Don't say anything about us.
They shoot and kill. They've got lawyers to save them out of this nonsense. So they know that if they go to the white people, they will be killed there and then. They know that we black people, we're not used to killing. So that's why they take advantage of us. And when we kill, we don't have strong lawyers to defend us and come out. You know what I'm saying? They will say, no, this can't happen here. But because the white is here, they're scared of the white. That's all.
And the Nigerians mobilize.
Like, can you just imagine, man? These people are literally trying to pin South Africans against white people in this country. They are trying to pin black South Africans against white South Africans. I mean, like, even the people that come outside of this country, they actually see what is happening and they are taking advantage of that. But they are taking advantage of the racial politics that has been the center stage of this country. And they are playing to that. But they are playing to that. Yo, I've never felt so insulted as a South African, guys. I don't want to lie. I've never felt so insulted.
Themselves to face these South Africans. What happened? The police rather shooting the rubber bullets, the Nigerians. They mustn't defend themselves. They mustn't defend themselves.
Yeah, that's what happened in Durban. And here as well. And here as well.
This is not the house for city.
Down here.
This was a workshop.
They had hijacked our car. So we tried to stone. They stoned. We stoned. They stoned. So when the police came, they just dispersed us. Then those guys just ran back in the hostel.
This man is the owner of this garage. Why can't they come here that, please, I have a son who is 15 years or he's 14 years. I want to give you this boy. It's like a school. What all that they're doing here, we learn it at school. I have a master that taught me at school in Ghana. So we'll be seeing them all around here with their fathers drinking together. And then at times I used to, please, why can't you give me this boy to train him to become a mechanic?
So maybe this is what the ANC has wanted all along. Maybe this is what the ANC has wanted all along. For black people in this country to eventually be under the illegal foreigners. Because now, the illegal foreigners are telling you that we have opened the businesses and you black people of South Africans, you must bring your children here so that we can train your children so that your children can work for us. Black people have been replaced. Black people have been replaced. And when we say these things, we are xenophobic. When we say that black people have been replaced, we are xenophobic. But it is here, guys. It is here. It is here. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Please tell me.
Tell me, guys, well, how would you feel? Okay, how would you feel if you had a country that is well controlled? A country, let's speak about maybe immigrants, right? A country that is well controlled and well managed when it comes to immigration, right? Where you will have people who are in South Africa, who are South African. Now, I want you to listen to this, right? You are in a country where they don't close for foreigners to come in, right? But they only allow foreigners who follow the law and who've got documents and everything, right? They allow them to come. And obviously, when they come here, they come with the right reasons and right whatever, right? And you've got a country where, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to these important jobs, priority is focused on South Africans. you have a country like that, right? When a foreigner comes to South Africa, right, they go through the right channels. They don't jump, they don't take a fence, they don't do nothing. They go through the gate, right? And then they produce documents, they produce everything, then they come in, all right? How would you feel to have a country like that? In other words, any person who does anything in South Africa illegally, crime, whatever, it's easy to find them. When you punch in there, or when you see a camera, you see the person, or you see a registration of a car, or you see the face, you can be able to see the person. You can be able to actually find out who is that person. How would you feel in that country? How would you feel in a country where everything is about South Africans? When foreigners come here, they know. How would you feel? I'm definitely sure you'll feel happy. You will feel safer. Safer in terms of, I don't know, everything else. Okay? And when it comes to crime, guys, there is no one who said South Africans, they don't commit crime, right? But now, if you've got people who come here and they do the same thing, which is crime, it becomes more. The statistics, they go up, everything goes up. Now, it becomes a problem for you to deal, to control, and to manage crime, because those guys who come here, they come illegally. So I'm talking about those who are illegal. I'm not talking about people who are legal. People who are legal, we're good guys. We'll talk to you, we'll smile with you, we'll just get into offices with you and everything. It's okay. Okay? But those who are illegal, right? What happens is it makes it very difficult for police to deal with crime, because they are illegal. They've got a gap or a door where they can do crime, because they know they will never be found. They will never be found. And I don't know why people, they don't get that. I don't know why people, they don't understand it. I'm asking myself, how many people have committed crime, right? And they were never found, just because they don't know their identity. That's the thing. And don't come here and tell us and say, but not all of them, they are here to commit crime. Who would you tell that this one is not committing crime? As long as it's not illegal, as long as it's not legal, you must see a plan, man. Go and come back in a right way, so that we know if you've committed crime. Because we will never know who is committing, who is not. Don't give us this thing of saying, yeah, not all of us are committing crime. We don't know. We cannot judge you from looking at you. We don't know. And you know that crime sometimes is committed by people who look innocent. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to react to this because you know what? I just wanted to show you an angle, guys, that a lot of people are forgetting. The angle of these guys, they came here and they were used against South Africans in terms of jobs, in terms of South Africans fighting for their rights, and then they were used as substitutes in these jobs. That's why there was a fight about restaurants. Why are they full of it is because of that reason. When South Africans are trying to fight for their rights, some people come and they are used as substitutes. That's what is the problem. Anyway, guys, please subscribe. Do I have to tell you that? You know what to do, right? You know what to do. Okay? We are moving, guys. Let's go to 10,000 subscribers. We are moving, all right? We are not giving up on this thing. Support, ladies and gents. Support, okay? I will try and stream tonight. Not tonight. But I will try and stream. Hey, guys, streaming, man, it's a bit challenging for me. But I will try and fix everything, and all of that. Thank you so much, guys. You have a good day. I'm out.